What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Coffee Club podcast. This is episode 83, and we got to get it out of the way. This is like the craziest experience for us. We didn't know we were even going to be filming this like to a live audience or anything. So you might not be able to see it on the cameras, but we have audience right here going absolutely crazy because we have a very special guest today, Mr. Devon Allen, coming all the way from. We've never had a. He immediately got swamped trying to get signatures and everything, so we had to settle it down. But he's here now with us. We're so thankful for you to coming on, Devon. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I had practice this morning, light lift, a little conditioning with the Eagles, but I'm feeling fresh. I got an off day tomorrow, so ready to race on Saturday.
Hell yeah! So we'll get into all that. We'll get into the NFL, track, etc., all the exciting stuff. But we're going to start off with some rapid fire, some quick questions, just to get acquainted with each other. How are we going to do this?
Why don't we do a question each?
A question each. We'll go down the line. Wait, first off, have you listened to any episodes of our show before?
I have seen a couple clips.
That doesn't count.
But no, not in depth.
Okay, so I just want to say, we're not very good at this.
No. We don't know how we've got this far.
Hey, me and Clayton Murphy did a podcast for a little bit too, and that was pretty popular for the 3 episodes we did, and we were like, oh man, we suck.
So the best thing about this audience is that not a single one of them knows who we are. So no one's here for us, actually.
Gives us less pressure, to be honest.
That's the other dynamic that's so weird about it. So Penn Relays today, I think, is a lot of... Are you guys 4x4, 4x1? 4x1. We got sprinters. We're a bunch of distance runners. So
you guys should introduce yourself to the crowd right here so they know what's going on.
Yeah, do you guys know how fast these guys are? You want to know?
Give the accolades right here. Go down the line.
We'll go down the line. I'm Morgan McDonald, Australian Olympian in the 5K, Tokyo.
I'm Ollie Hall. I'm Australian Olympian in the 1500 meters. I run a 3:47 mile.
Not bad.
He's all right. I'm a New Zealander, not an Olympian.
World champ representative.
I went to World Champs in Eugene last year. I've run 3:51 in the mile. Yeah.
National record.
Hold a few New Zealand national records. Good.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
There we go.
Thanks.
Put some respect on our names.
We're all huge Devon Allen fans.
Massive Devon Allen fans.
I appreciate that.
Who isn't? So
I was asked yesterday how fast I could run a mile, and I said 5:20, and then they were like, "You can run faster than that." I'm like, "Well, the last time I ran at 800, I ran 2:16." So I just came kind of doing the math.
The math side is that adds up.
Dude, 5:20 is solid, actually.
5:20 is not slow.
Yeah.
I probably could, if I really got into a fast race like with you guys, I would just hold on for the first 800, come through 150.
Yeah, and then just hang on.
And then hang on. You guys will run me through to 410 or 420.
We'll have to pace him for a mile and actually prove that.
Well, that was the goal last year. Is after World Champs, I was gonna win World Champs, and then that night I was you were gonna go outright and do a beer mile on the track, but
of course
didn't get the chance, obviously. So
of course,
things went a little bit different.
Too bad.
We'll have to make up for that. We'll have
the plan was good.
The plan was good. Yes.
All right. So some rapid fire questions. First off, mine was, what's the favorite celebration that you've ever done, including your pre-race antics, in front of the camera?
Ooh, the favorite celly. I have 2. One of them was just the 2016 jumping into the stands. That because the stands are a lot higher than you think. So if you're on the track at the time, it's probably about a 4-foot, 5-foot leap up there. So I showed off my hops a little bit. And my second favorite celebration was actually 2018 U.S. champs. Me and Grant did the Fortnite, dance after the finish. So me and Grant Holloway are boys. So we were and that was the prime of Fortnite.
Yeah,
2018, 2019.
You got to cash in on that.
Yeah, so I had to capitalize on that, Sally.
Yeah. Next.
Coffee order.
Ooh, coffee order. I'm very, very plain. I go Americano with an extra shot of espresso, and if I'm feeling something sweet, I'll do a pump of sugar-free vanilla or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep the calories low in my coffee.
Right.
That's just black coffee with water. Yeah.
Is that a shot in the dog? Is that what? Is that what an extra shot in an Americano is?
I think so.
I think an Americano is similar to a long black, but
yeah, that's what we call it.
I think it's less water and more espresso in a long black.
This guy knows his coffee.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
if we get too personal, just say skip. I'm gonna go relationship status.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. She'll be here. She'll be here tomorrow, actually, to come watch me run. She lives in Phoenix, but she's flying out for the meet. So she's coming out to support, too, and then she'll hang out with me for the week while I'm here. You know, I live in Philly permanently now, so I got a place in South Philly.
Does she get nervous when she watches you race?
No, actually, this would be the first time she's seen
this will be the first time.
See me race in person.
So we'll
You know,
find
She
out.
watches me on TV, but we'll see.
In person,
I'm
she
sure
might get
she
a bit
will. My
nervous.
whole family's here, too, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm sure they all get nervous when I compete, but.
Yeah.
This is the Arizona couch over here.
Yeah,
AZ.
Arizona boys.
AZ boys.
Represent.
Yeah,
I claim Arizona.
Arizona's a great state. I know you guys do some training there, right?
In the
off-season?
past.
One
Don't get
time
us
we
started.
won.
Don't get us started on
Was
that,
that
yeah.
bad?
No,
No,
we loved it.
We just want to go back.
We
don't
don't
get
want
allowed
to
to
go
go
back
back.
this year. We're a bit salty about it because
Yeah,
we didn't
okay.
all last year.
Are you a
So-
Suns fan? Next question.
I am a Suns fan. Actually, that was one of my sellies, too, after the semifinal in 2021 for the Olympic trials. I was like Suns in 4, but they had lost the game that night, so it was Suns in 5.
Suns
Suns
are
are 9. We have a joke, Suns are 9, because we have a former teammate, Carlos, who's a massive diehard Suns fan, and we have the joke, Suns are 9.
Yeah.
I don't think that was just we.
I mean,
was
I think that's everyone, but
that
we
was every
definitely
single
said it every
person.
week.
We embraced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We embraced it.
We
All right.
did.
Next one. What's your current most played song?
My current most played song, and it's not very current. It's a song from maybe 2015 or 16, Drake, Can't Have Everything. And that's like the only, like, whenever I need a really good rep, like at practice, that's the song I put on. And like my
Got it.
coach knows when that comes on, like, oh, like this is time to watch what's going on.
Time to
So,
rock and roll, yeah. Awesome.
What about you guys? You guys have a song that you go to like for warm up? I know in 2021 and 2022, my warm up album was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
And right when I got to swimming pools was about the time I was like 50 minutes in, so I knew it was like time to earphones out and start doing block starts.
That's a
So it's
perfect
like good timing,
routine.
Yeah.
I like none of us really have like our routines dialed in like that. We all listen to like a lot of different music. Very like a lot of.
Well, what song
EDM,
right
drill.
now for you?
I don't know. So, see, my thing right now, I know he's like canceled right now, but old school Kanye, we've been rocking that in the gym.
Okay, yeah.
Like not allowed to say that, but man, you play that in the gym, like
Hey, that's okay. It's your pod. You can do
I mean,
whatever you want.
I mean, my mix is between J. Cole and probably, I mean, Kendrick Lamar's Damn album. Like, if I'm really needing to get motivated, I'd probably listen to that album.
Okay.
That's for me.
Kendrick for sure. Yes.
I got nothing right now. Not for running anyway. I don't listen to music when I run. Like warming up, nothing. Maybe that's like very distance running.
No, I mean, I feel like that's fair.
Try
I
and keep
usually
it peaceful.
I usually try not to warm up with headphones, especially like when it's chaotic like
Yeah.
this, because you can't hear anybody. And if you're in the way, like somebody's saying track or get out the way, it's kind of dangerous. So
It is, yeah.
I definitely don't recommend warming up with headphones. But when I do like go to meets and stuff, I bring a speaker and I play it out loud. That might be rude, but I try to get the clean version of whatever songs I'm listening to. So like if there's kids around, then
that's
you know,
a
it's
power
okay.
move, man. Make
Yeah.
everyone listen to your
Yeah,
playlist.
exactly. So and you know what's funny too is like I got into it's like UK drill,
Oh, dude, that'll get you
grime,
going.
and then a lot of like I was listening to 1-4
Yeah.
a lot, Australian drill.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of music too, but sometimes that kind of gets me too hyped. And then I'm like hyped up for like an hour before the race, and I get to the race, I'm kind of tired. So I'm like, I gotta
Overshot
back
it.
off a little bit. Yeah.
You gotta watch out for that.
All right. So, who's your favorite distance runner? If you have one, you can say no. You don't have one.
Ooh,
But
that's a good
no,
question.
you have to have one.
Okay, well, I have one of my best friends, Clayton Murphy.
Yeah.
I got to go with him just the way he runs. And, I know for a fact because I've seen a lot of great distance runners being at Oregon as well. Is like
Yeah.
you got to have the leg speed.
Yeah.
So, a lot of you guys don't get the credit for the speed, but all you guys are like 46, 47, 400-meter runners. Like when your guys are
generous.
fit.
Nah, maybe.
I'll
probably
take
not.
that.
I
I'll
mean,
take
you definitely are.
Thank you
Why
for
was
saying that. But
Yeah. So Clayton, and then I can't remember his name, but he was a Cuban 400-meter, 800-meter runner a long time ago that won the double in the Olympics, and they used to call him like El Caballo, like the horse. I can't remember his name. It was like
We got any
80s.
historians in the
we
audience?
got someone
Yeah.
fact checking it right now.
All right, we
Yeah,
gotta fact
we're
check
gonna
it, go
fact
on.
check that and come back to you.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you need to know about our podcast is we don't know much about.
Yeah. We
Track
make
and field.
mistakes all the time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What about your guys' favorite sprinters? That's the real question.
Definitely Devon Allen.
I was gonna say
yeah.
Devon Allen.
Well, other than me, Like what events outside the distance events do you like to watch the most? Because for me, I like to watch the 15. Like a championship 15 is like something really exciting to watch because one, there's two ways to do it: slow kick, and then it's just like the last 400 is like a 48 second, and it's pretty sick to watch. Or it's like take it out super hard, and then everybody's like dropping off, and it gets like real spread out, real drawn out, and then that's even better too because then you see like the guys that are supposed to win all in the front racing the last 200 meters. Yeah. But what about you guys for the sprints?
I was in Australia recently for the Murray Plant meet in Melbourne, and I've seen Fred Curley around just from meets and stuff. That 200 meters, watching him, because we had about 7,000, 8,000 people, and that's a lot for an Australian crowd, and we were getting really behind it. We had Fred there. We had a lot of other great athletes, but he came through in like the last 50 meters. He's just going like this.
Yeah, like celebrating the whole 50. Yeah,
I was sitting drug testing with him, and I was like he was just signing everyone's autographs. All the Aussies were getting behind it. Like it was really nice to have him there, and he's a showman. I really enjoyed talking to him, and he's probably next to you one of my favorite sprinters right now.
Nice. Okay, Fred. Shout out.
I got a couple maybe. I'm a big Michael Norman fan.
Okay.
I like Michael Norman.
Can't hate on that at all.
Who else we got?
Well, Michael has a range, and he's just been consistently fast since 2016, since he was in high school, since he was these guys' age. One fun fact though, too, the thing that me, Michael Norman, and Andre DeGrasse have in common, other than their Olympic gold medals and World Championship gold medals, is that we all won the Pac-12 200-meter dash when we were in college.
That is a real fun fact.
That's a really good fact. There.
So
that's where it all comes from.
And I actually got an easy year because the year before Andre DeGrasse ran 19.6 to win the Pac-12. Then I run 20.50. And then Michael Norman runs 19.8. So like the year that I won, it was kind of slow.
It's the win that counts.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cold. It was in UW. It was like 40 degrees.
Conditions. UW, yeah, that's probably worth sub 20. I don't know. But I would say when you talk about a favorite sprinter, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like a student of like the 100. Like I don't understand these events like historically or whatever. So what it really attracts me is the personalities and the storylines. So right now, Fred Curley is so easy to just like, because everything he does is exciting. Everything he does is exciting.
So entertaining.
You take the like American 100, like the hurdles, like the 110 hurdles, so exciting because you know that every time like all you guys are lining up, like man, that's like the best runners in the world right there, and all running for the same country. So
for sure,
those I'll say the storylines.
And I agree with you. In like the last couple years, it's been really in the sprints, U.S. versus Jamaica, right? Usually, and especially in the 100, and then with Usain Bolt retiring, it kind of opened up the short sprints a little bit. But in the hurdles, it's been back and forth the last, I don't know, like 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Jamaican, U.S., and like you said, in the U.S., there's now 5 guys that have run 13 flat or faster that are still competing.
Yeah,
so
how can you not get excited
it's like,
for that?
In order to make a U.S. team now, you got to run 13 flat or better. And even last year, there was 6 guys in the final that ran faster than 13:08.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't envy you, but you've done it so well every single year you show up. So I think
you ever run the 400 hurdles?
I did run the 400 hurdles in college, not very well because I didn't get to do a lot of training for it. But I got second in the Pac-12 championship, which unfortunately I got. Yeah, but I told my coach my junior year in college, like, hey, if I can run this time in the 200, can I not do the 400 hurdles anymore? He's like, yeah, sure. And then I did it the next week, and he's all right.
That's a good bargaining chip. Final question for our rapid fire questions, which have not been rapid fire at all. They've actually been really long-winded questions. Final rapid fire: NFL or track?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's very tough because I enjoy both and I love both. And this last season in the NFL has kind of like reignited that love, especially playing for the Eagles and going to the Super Bowl. And I didn't get to play. Like I wasn't active this season. I was on the practice squad the whole year. But now I'm kind of like locked in to contribute and make the team this year and be, out there and scoring touchdowns. So right now, football. I know track, it's hard to say that because I still believe this year I'm going to break the world record in the hurdles, regardless. So, like, I train that way. I train like everything I'm doing. I'm trying to be the best that I can be. at it, and right now I'm focused on the track season up until just before training camp, and I'm doing 2-a-days, like doing both sports right now because we just started our off-season training in Philly.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm leaning towards the football route, but as long as I'm gonna keep running fast in the hurdles, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's a little bit harder because there's so much technical aspect that goes into it, the 110s, but it's going well so far. I'm like 7 weeks in, and I ran 13.3 last weekend, so it's a good start.
That's a good place to be. And yeah, that was that question was kind of just to lead us into what's probably going to be like the biggest topic of our podcast today will be about making that decision and navigating those two different worlds of NFL and professional track and field, because I mean, in this day and age, you don't see too many dual professional athletes. It's not something that exists. And for people that have followed your journey, you've been doing this for a long time. Obviously, you spent a long time very focused on track. But before that, I mean, when you were at Oregon, you were a dual athlete. I remember, so the first time I heard about you was when it was a really big deal that you had gone professional. Am I correct in saying this, that you had gone professional in track, but you were still playing football at Oregon?
Not quite. I had played football that season, but then before the track season started, I went professional.
Oh, okay.
So when I was still in college, yes, playing football. With the NIL now, I guess I could have done that.
Yeah.
But like with the NCAA rules at the time, I couldn't sign a endorsement contract. But I was kind of already leaning towards, even if I wasn't endorsed, like running in the pro circuit outside of college, just because I had already the 2 years that I raced, I won NCAAs and USAs both years. So it's kind of like just moving on to the next step.
Yeah.
Had someone done that before in college? Like, who'd you have to convince to let you play football and run track? Were other people doing that?
Yeah, there's a couple good athletes that have done it in the past. Maybe not as high of a level on the track itself, and obviously, like being a great football player takes a lot of work and consistent effort too. And I'm still trying to get back to where I was when I was playing in college. But like D'Anthony Thomas did it when he was at Oregon. We had a lot of guys. Michael James as well. He's an Oregon guy. And then Jeremy Bloom was like one of the first dual sport athletes, in that college because he was a professional skier and then played football for the – he played. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, he was a professional skier and then played football at Colorado and then actually played for the Eagles as well while he was doing the pro skiing thing. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. We should tell you, we hate on Oregon all the time on this show. How do you feel? Like, I guess, see, when you go to Oregon, is it just like, it's like the center of the world, right? Like, is it like the best thing ever? Is it as good as it seems from the outside? Because we hate on it because the
grass is greener. The grass is greener.
Yeah,
complex.
so I guess, like, I agree with you. It's just because you didn't go there, you just hate on it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that have gone there are it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how I feel. And, I know a lot of the international athletes, Europeans, Australians, that have to travel super far to go to Eugene. Like, it kind of sucks because you spend a long day traveling. But the Americans do it all the time when we go to Europe. Like, we spend that 12 hours, in a plane.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of used to it compared to, like, all the Europeans get to, like, kind of hang out in Europe for the first 3 months of the season. And then, after World Champs is when they kind of, pop over to Prefontaine Classic or World Champs last year. So, I get that because you're kind of tired from jet lag. But other than that, you can't really beat Eugene outside of maybe, like, if you get allergies.
Yeah,
That could be an
I get
issue.
really bad
I don't
allergies.
get allergies, so I have no issue.
He's immune. It's just also the whole. I mean, every single big football program has everything they need, but in the track world, it's not quite the same. You know what I mean? Where some track teams have access to more, and we always look at Oregon as just like, oh, they get everything. They look so lucky, like just all the Nike money and all that. So it's like we're always just jealous, I guess.
Yeah, it's the Mecca. I mean, you get, like you said, you get whatever you need there, and they really support all the athletes. Long term, like I can go back there and anytime I want and use whatever I want. Like, and it's like that for every athlete that has come through Oregon.
What do you think of the current director of track and field there?
Well, I don't know much about him, but I think he has shown to be a good distance coach in the past. Like, he has a ton of great athletes, and I think part of that being a head coach or a director of a program. My coach is the director of track and field at the Naval Academy. is hiring good coaches to facilitate and do their jobs, right? Like, you hire a good sprint coach for that reason.
Yeah.
Or a jumps coach or a multis or a distance coach. And so that's kind of good when you have a coach that just like is purely focused on the distance. Like, he's not going to have a ton of a say like what happens on the sprint side or the jump side, because not that he doesn't know about it, I'm sure he does. It's just not his like expertise.
It's about the delegating. We just joke about him because he's probably one of the most famous specifically distance runner coaches ever, because he was the coach of Bauman. But then before that, he actually coached at Wisconsin, where Ollie and I went. He competed at Wisconsin as well. He's from Wisconsin high school, so he's like very relevant.
So you guys are upset you didn't go to Wisconsin?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going. There's a lot of backstory to that.
A lot of backstory.
We'll fill you in after, but yeah. So you went to Oregon, and then you were very successful as a, just focusing on the track, which we'll get into more. But jumping forwards to kind of this last year, the crazy thing about it, because I would like to kind of ask specifically about the decision-making process of going back to the NFL, but just to set some context to it, I mean, you've been very consistent throughout your whole track career, but I mean, if you're looking at it from the outside, some people, I think it'd be easy to say, wow, this guy's like peaking right now. I mean, you ran your season last year was the biggest roller coaster of all time. Mm-hmm. Seeing like the form that you were in at June, and then like the way it ended up playing out, and especially with kind of the storyline that you said earlier, where everyone knew like you were trying to go to the NFL. What was the decision-making process like a little bit early at the start of last year, and then once you got into the track season and you're like, shit, I just almost broke the world record. Like, were you like second guessing yourself?
Yeah, I think the initial decision was made about 6-7 years ago when I semi-retired from football. After I had my second knee injury playing football, I decided, hey, let me focus on track for the next 4 years, give myself a chance leading into the Olympic Games. And like you said, I have been consistent, and like any athlete, there's going to be a balance of, training, getting injured, and kind of coming back from that and being healthy. And so all the years that I played football and ran track, I've done really well. 2014 season, U.S. champ, NCAA champ, played football, led Oregon in receiving yards and touchdowns. And then 2016, same thing, playing football, Olympic trials champ, 1303. And then this last season, I was doing both, starting in April, balancing back and forth between OTAs, off-season training, and track practice. And then, I get COVID like 10 days before the New York race, and kind of just relax for a bit, which I probably needed, because I was doing so much training back and forth. Like I was in practice Monday, Thursday, and then I was driving back to Maryland to train Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then going back to Philly Monday through Thursday again. So like I was kind of worn out, and that's, your body tells you when to stop. And so I got sick, and then I was like, okay, let me relax, and I ran fast, and I was feeling good leading into Worlds. In my head I was going to break the world record in that final, kind of ramping up to that, which would have been, like a storybook, but and so I'll have another chance to break it.
Do we get to talk about that, or do you not talk about?
No, we can. I mean, there's not much to talk about other than what you guys saw at the track and in TV. There's not really a argument to be made. Yeah.
Is it at the time that was like the biggest thing we talked about on our next episode?
We
because
talked
it was
about
just
it a lot.
It was just like the most ridiculous thing ever. Not to rehash it.
I think the only issue, and if you just, I'm just going to say this, my piece is just on average, all the reaction times were way faster than the last 20 World Championships altogether by like a tenth of a second. So
there's something there.
So there's something there, and then also in the semifinal, my reaction time was .101, which is 1,000th slower than the legal, allowed. So like to say I can't react 2,000ths faster than I did in the semi is kind of saying like I'm just
ridiculous.
Consistently a reactor. And you look at my I told some of my old training partners, like, go to any Diamond League race I raced in and see who the fastest reaction time was. I bet you it's me. They're like, nah. So I looked at like a random meet. They're like, oh, it was me. I was like, let me look for another one. It was me.
It's always Devon Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a random question from a distance runner who doesn't know. Could you have run under protest or no?
So you can if the official allows it. It's ultimately their decision. The official can kind of step in if he thinks there might be something wrong or an issue, that they can't solve right in the moment. So that's what I was trying to do when I said, hey, I want to run under protest. Give him the opportunity to be like, okay, a lot of stuff going on here. It's really close to the limit. I'm not sure if what's going on. So, but obviously I wasn't allowed. But you cannot run under protest, but the rules allow the official to make that call ultimately.
Yeah. So that all happened, and then you're like, all right, screw this. I'm going to play some football now. Put that in the kind of like rearview mirror. Fast forward to this season, just wondering, like navigating the dual professional. You said, yeah, you're really focusing on that football now. So what will this track season look like, do you think?
It's going to be pretty. I guess this is my first big meet, and we'll see how I do on Saturday. I mean, I don't expect to break the world record on Saturday. I mean, it'd be nice if I do, but
I'll take it.
We'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only about 7 weeks into training because the football season ended February 12th, and I took 3 weeks off and started training the beginning of March. So, I'm not in horrible shape. I was in pretty good shape coming off the football season, and I ran at the Navy meet last week and ran 10:3 and 13:30 with not a lot of training. A little bit not overweight. I'm not overweight, but I'm just heavier than I was last season. I'm 194, 195. So I probably want to get down to below 190, 188. So, once I lose a little bit of weight too in the next 6 weeks, I'll be flying a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't even previewed. We're at the Penn Relays. We didn't even preview that.
Oh yeah, if you can see all the people warming up behind us. Yeah, they're getting ready to race.
We're at the Penn Relays, and obviously Devon's racing the hurdles, and George is racing the mile as well. Mm-hmm. I believe it's called the Olympic Development Mile. Why did they throw that title in?
I don't even know what that means.
Because
there's a bunch of Olympians.
There's a bunch of Olympians.
well, you can't say Olympic because the Olympics owns that title.
It's the next best thing.
Yeah, the next best thing. People that are trying to make the Olympics or going to the Olympics in the next year.
Yeah. I'm not expecting to break the world record, but
it'd be nice.
If you did, that'd be nice. Yeah.
But
so just similar mindset, really.
Yeah, 100%.
This is going to be a sick race for us because our whole team is here. Half of us are racing, and 3 of the guys are all racing the mile together. So we got a showdown because it's kind of everyone's coming together from different standpoints. Because we got George, who, if you didn't know, George has debuted in the steeplechase this season last year.
Yeah, bro, I'm a hurdler now.
Nice.
Yeah. Sort of.
No, steeplechasers count because I see him doing hurdle drills off to the side. Not quite as good as I'd like. I want to step in sometimes when I see some of the college kids that are on the Navy track team. I'm like,
you could be doing that a little better.
Because I'm like, please don't fall. Yeah. And that last lap gets real dangerous. So
maybe we go through some drills after
this. Get some pointers, George. Get some pointers.
We should get a YouTube how to hurdle.
Yeah.
Let's make that video. Let's make that happen.
We'll make it happen.
That's genius.
But, so we have George, and then we have our teammate Mario, who's the 1,500 meter runner. He came 4th at World Champs last year. And then we also have Joe Klecker, who US 10K champ. Yeah. And so they're all meeting at the mile. So
what's the bet?
This is what I'm trying to work on. But so me,
you only got 2 days.
George, we're trying to work on a bet. I mean, I would love to see a huge upset from, not huge upset, but Joe Klecker coming for the win would be an upset.
10K man.
It'd be an upset. 10K man taking on Mario's event, and George also, I would say George's event too, mile mid distance. It'd be cool to see him kind of.
We got to make some odds. I don't think it's legal, so we'll do it after the podcast under the table.
Not recorded. We'll do it not recorded.
We'll get the odds.
Loser has to shave his head.
Yeah, I think that's legal.
See, that's the thing. That's crazy. So just fun fact. Track and field, we all know this is not a hidden thing. Is you don't make a ton of money outside of the top few guys in whatever events. But in the NFL, it's way different. Everybody makes a ton of money. And being on practice squad, I don't really make as much money as everybody else. But it got to the point where you'd be betting push-ups, 100 push-ups instead of money, because
it's just
people are it's less fun if I have to give you money because I make $25 million a year or something like that. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's hey, I bet you on this free throw, if you miss it, it's 1,000 push-ups, and they're like, oh,
that hurts way more than $1,000.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it true that you're into poker? Are you still into poker?
I still am into poker. Yeah. Yeah. I don't play as often as I did in college, just because I don't have as much free time and. The bankroll is not, I'm trying to hold the bankroll close, but I actually, it's funny. I have a buddy who I'm actually programming right now. His name's Jason Kuhn. He's a professional poker player, and he is training. He made a bet. He's training to run under 11 seconds in the 100. He made
really,
I don't know, $2 million bet. And he ran track in college. He was a 1060 or 1070 guy.
Oh, so he's capable.
He's capable, but he hasn't done it in a while, and he has 2 kids now, and he hasn't run in 8 years, but we're going through a little program. Started training about 8 weeks ago.
What's the time frame till he has to run?
He can do whenever.
Oh,
There's no
really?
time limit. They're
Okay.
just like
Before he dies.
you got it. Yeah, before exactly.
I mean, he's probably only getting slower, so they go
Yeah,
as soon
Yeah,
as
the
possible.
sooner the better.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have that much time.
Is he
That,
gonna,
that should have been in the quick fire. What can you tell us biggest win or biggest loss
For me?
on the table? Yeah.
Oh, I don't bet crazy. My biggest win, probably a few grand, like playing cash games. Biggest
bad.
loss,
Not
probably
bad.
a few grand.
it all evens out in the end.
I'm probably net down. Well, at least that's what I tell my accountant. So.
Where's all that extra money? So you talked a bit about how professional track athletes aren't making as much as NFL players, which everyone knows, no surprise. And one of the things that we often talk about is, well, just generally like how to make the sport better. And one of our ideas that people that listen will know we talk about this all the time is creating a distance-only league. We have a bit of a theory that you could have a sport which was just distance running, more similar to, say, a cross-country meet or a marathon road race, where it's just one distance race, like a league, where every weekend it's just one race, say it's a 10K, and all the best distance runners in the world are doing it. We think, as an idea, as a new sport, if you want to call it that, that would be extremely successful in terms of just making it more exciting, more similar to, say, F1 or whatever, bring in more fans and hopefully make more money for everyone. We talked a bit about what the sprinting equivalent would be, because, we look at distance running, we're very biased. We're like, distance running could do amazing on its own, separate from track and field. And then we talked about sprinting, and, I mean, we said that we thought distance running could do better than sprinting. Biased. But is that something that, you think about or talk about with other sprinters? Like, how can we make this sport better? Is there some form of a sprint league that you think like would be a good idea, that's something that like would excite you to compete in?
Yes, I think there is a version of that. I think your idea of the distance league is great. I mean, I find myself not watching the whole marathon, but at least the last 20 minutes, right? Especially a close race. And I think that would be popular in terms of like, you could change the distance every week, and you could be the all around guy.
Yeah.
But for the sprint side, I think it comes down to just racing. I know that this is going to be, not popular opinion, but I think the more the best athletes race, the more popular the sport's going to be anyways,
100%.
And the money will come from that.
100%.
So like, when you get a lot of athletes that are kind of like, and I get it, the best athletes deserve to get paid to come, and appearance fees and all that stuff, but sometimes you got to just go and race at a meet because it's good exposure.
Yeah,
like
you're gonna make something more valuable than an appearance fee, I think.
Yeah,
It's like
100%.
winning.
Like I live in Philly now. I play for the Eagles. Why would I not run at the Penn Relays?
Yeah.
Like, and last year was a great experience. Like, that was the coolest thing I've done.
Yeah.
That was
So, like,
amazing. We were on the infield.
We were
for
in the
that.
infield watching you
Yeah.
like
That was the
afterwards walking
loudest.
around. You had about 20 security guards around you.
I think
and
that's
we're
when
like,
we
wow.
decided. You were
Yeah, we're
walking
getting you on
past
the
with,
podcast
an
next
MCU
year.
security DJ. We're like, next year?
We need him.
Next year we need him on the pod.
Yeah.
But I feel like the sport it's designed at the moment that the top sprinters don't race each other until world champs. Like, the money is funneled to the wrong place. Like,
Where's all the money going?
a meet can't afford to pay.
You can't
of
afford
the
to
top
pay,
sprinters.
yes, because they're all like,
Yeah.
well, this
They all-
guy's.
yeah.
So this is say, athlete A is making 20 grand to come. Like, I just beat athlete A 2 weeks ago, so I should make 25. And then
Yeah.
athlete B is like making 25, but athlete C is like, I have 3 world championship Olympic medals, more than these guys, so I should be, so that's.
Yeah, and if you accepted
that's
anything
the-
less, you'd be lowering your value, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm the same way. I don't.
of course.
Not that I don't race for free, because I have, but
Yeah.
I try not to, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially now I'm super busy. Like,
Yeah. You only have a finite amount of time.
yeah, I got to pick and choose where I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
I can't race in every single weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. I think a simple way of putting it for us is the Olympics happens every 4 years, and when the Olympics happens, it's the most exciting thing ever. It's amazing, and that's so good. But why could we not have the Olympics happen 5 times a year or whatever? Because in other sports, NFL, the Olympics happens every Sunday.
Mm.
Pretty much.
And
It's
then
like
there's a big Olympics that comes
Yeah.
up.
Well, I think
before
we
the
just
Super
need a
Bowl.
little bit more consistency too during the track season, like having a race every week.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be like, I don't know how to market it, but like the Saturday races or like the Friday or the Sunday night
we're gonna
race.
take over Saturday.
Yeah, like
Sunday's
you know
already
how
taken.
Saturday night, Saturday Night Live happens. Like, why not, like, right before that is all the track races.
We'll take that time
So,
slot.
and then, like, whoever wins gets to be a guest appearance on the show in New York.
That's a great idea.
Somebody write this down?
Why isn't anyone
We need to
thinking
write
that
this down.
So, yeah, I think the Sprint League, it comes down to just people racing each other because that's the storyline.
That's what makes it exciting.
Storylines.
Right? When you go to World Champs in the Olympics, you don't race for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you do. There's, like, some prize money, but it's not, like, exponentially higher than any other meet. But, like, everybody shows up to those competitions.
the pride.
That's what makes it exciting, right? Like, like the World Champs that Usain Bolt got disqualified from the 100. It was exciting. The 100 meters is still exciting, but everybody was kind of like, oh.
Everyone waited a whole 2 years for this.
Yeah.
He's
So,
not in it.
like, and that's just how it goes. Like, and you have an athlete that maybe picks up an injury before World Champs and has to pull out. And then you kind of like, oh, man. Like,
you want to be, you want the best people to be racing each other, and you want the world champion to be whoever beats all the best guys.
What would it take to get you, Grant Holloway, Daniel Roberts, Trey Cunningham,
A lot of money.
Jamaican guy who won worlds, won the Olympics?
no, that's a.
What does it take to get you guys on the line
So
every 2 weeks the whole season?
Here's the thing: is like the hurdlers are probably the least ducky of all
That's true.
events.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at like the normal diamond leagues, like me, Daniel, Grant, and Trey are going to be racing all three.
Grant races a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be racing all three of the diamond leagues, like Rabat, Florence, Paris, right before USA's. Like so. And that's
So you guys are not the
Dang.
problem.
That's no, I mean, and it's not that we can't always race. It's just sometimes you're not quite ready, to go. Like for me, I'm just kind of like, I'm building up, and hopefully I'm ready to go by May so I can put on a good show. But yeah.
What do you think we're always of the mind that people should get paid less appearance fees and
Win
More
more
prize
all
money,
the prize
100%. I agree. Yeah, because
that was solve
You
some of
can't,
those
you can't
problems.
argue with it.
Well,
you
and
can't argue with
so
you can argue with the peers fee.
and as an athlete, you already know going to the meet, like you have that confidence. You can't fake it especially as a distance runner if you didn't put in the mileage, and a sprinter if you didn't put in the work.
Yeah.
Like every race I go into, I'm like calculating my purse as in like appearance fee plus first place. Like, that's what I'm going to make this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I already expect to do that. So like if first place is just more and I get paid less in appearance fee, I'm like,
Same for you.
I'm still making the same amount.
It's not going to change.
No.
No.
But I mean, it's not like always perfect. But
Yeah.
in my head, I'm if I'm showing up, I'm going to win.
We like that mindset. Yeah, I think that is a very probably common sprinter mindset. So same with distance runners, and so everyone thinks going into the race they're going to win that money. So why not make it bigger? Why not give it the more incentive, and people are going to show up and go get it?
Exactly.
Like also, I think, not that it's too late for last year, but I broke the stadium record. It'd been nice to win a Toyota.
Yeah.
Why didn't this
Why
guy
would
get
you
a
not get a
Toyota?
car?
Yeah, like I
The main sponsor.
I was like, oh, I could take the super home. They're
Yeah.
like, nah, you can't. Sorry.
No.
Maybe if I break the world record, they'll let me.
Yeah,
take
no,
something home.
I think world record, you definitely get maybe more than one car. Give him a couple cars.
Let's get this guy a couple of cars.
Yeah.
Come on, he's running fast. So I think we're kind of on the same page there. Where with all those ideas, just get the races going. I think we'll start winding down a little bit. One thing I'd like to ask you, especially for the benefit of all these people listening here, all these high schoolers. You talked before about how you've had your best seasons when you have kind of been doing training for both football and just the track. What advice would you give to kids that are kind of in a similar position to you, or even just kids that are focused on track? Like, what do you take away from the fact that you've had your best seasons when you're doing both?
I think the biggest takeaway I've gotten from doing both sports at the same time and doing well during that time is you got to be hyper aware and listen to your body, because there's a lot of times last season where I was just kind of tired, and the program is like, all right, today you have a hurdle day or today you have a sprint day, and I just told my coach, hey, I'm kind of tired, so I just took an off day, right?
That's
so
nice.
I mean, maybe you guys don't have the luxury. 'cause
Our
you gotta
coach
get
would
the
not give
mileage
us an
in.
off day.
But for me, right, like
Ollie doesn't know what off days are.
yeah, no off days.
No off days, no.
But that's the thing. Like I realize, like, especially as I'm getting a little bit like older. I'm not old. I'm only 28. But I need to do less training and more quality training. So, like, if I'm on the track 3 days a week, which is kind of what I was last season, like those are good days, like really good days, and I'm taking a lot from those. Repetitions as opposed to kind of being like 80% on the track just because I need to get a workout in. It's not always the best, matchup, but that's also because I was doing a lot on the football side as well. So, you kind of got to listen to your body. You got to understand that as an athlete, always being faster and stronger is always better. To some extent, you don't want to injure yourself, but I think, that's the biggest takeaway is listening to my body and just kind of like, hey, I'm tired.
Yeah. You recognize a good day and you recognize a bad day.
100%.
So.
Like the other day, I was like having a good session here, and I was like, I'm going to do one more. And my coach was like, nah, you should just stop. He's like, you haven't really – this is like your third starts day of the season, and you've already done like 30% more than you've done at all. So, like, let's just not do anymore. And I was like, okay. So
smart. That's where the coach comes in to hold you back and have that perspective. Yeah. But, yeah.
Following on from that, talking about running well while you're playing football, does that mean, are we running track and playing football every year from now on? Is that the goal?
The goal, yes, if I can continue to be competitive in both. Like, obviously my performance goes down in either one, then I got to kind of, have a come to Jesus moment and be like, hey, what can I do here to fix that? Mm-hmm. But as of last year, I didn't really had a great track season, obviously, and then my football season, being my first season back in 6 years, I progressed a lot through the season. So now the goal is get on the field and make plays and help the team win. And then once I do that, then I can start kind of getting an idea of like where I fit in, in that program.
Do people on the NFL team understand like how good you are at hurdles?
Yeah, my teammates do, especially. Some of them got to watch me race last year, and then a lot of them are watching they saw the New York meet because I was on video in the U.S. and world champs. After when I came for training camp, they're like, "Man, I can't believe that happened."
Yeah.
Like everybody's pissed.
They're trying to figure it out. Like they're like, "What happened?"
They're like, you're telling me that you got disqualified for being better than everybody?
Too good. Like starting.
Yeah, it's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're starting to get it now, and they've seen it. Like being the fast guy in the field, I have to be the fast guy. So
that's your
you got a reputation to live up
to. Of the season last year on the GPS, I ran the fastest on the field in the NFL.
Yeah,
I did it in the preseason because I didn't play any regular season games, but I still had the
that's
highest
good.
That's a pretty sick stat.
Yeah, you need to represent for track because I would not be surprised if NFL guys just assume they're faster, even though they're obviously not.
But I like that because you got to have that confidence.
Yeah.
Like there's a few guys, I'm not going to name any names because I know who they are, that were on the Eagles that were like, hey, like I want to race you. And I say, okay, we'll do 100 yards on the field and it's $10,000. And they're like, don't
want to race you now.
They start thinking about it when the money comes in.
They're like, I'm rich, but not that rich.
Yeah. I don't want to race you.
Might have to do push-ups for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's all very good takeaways. Is there any other questions from us, boys? Before we start to close up?
There? I mean,
not much.
Next year, the Olympics are next year.
Yeah.
You've been to 2 Olympics. You've come 5th and 4th.
Yes.
That's pretty brutal.
That's pretty annoying, I imagine.
Does that feel like there's unfinished business?
Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah, definitely. You know how I feel. I and that's the thing that sucks is going to each of those Olympics. Like I felt like, I'm the guy to win. And just everybody shows up on the line, and those races were close, and that's just kind of how it goes in track and field.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think same mindset as any year is go in and expect to win. And continue to train. Like the more consistently I can run 13:0 or faster, the better chance I give myself because then I don't have to do anything crazy to win the Olympics.
Do you reckon? Has anybody won an Olympic gold medal and won the Super Bowl in the same year? I'm just trying to do the math.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. So you could be the first
There
one.
actually has.
There has.
Yeah. Bob Hayes. He played for the Cowboys, and I think he won the 100 or the 4x1 in 1960.
Okay, we can make it more specific to
1964.
hurdles. We'll make no one's won the 100.
Well, actually,
hurdles.
I don't think it was the same year. I just think he won the Super Bowl and he won the Olympics. So
Yeah,
this would be the first time it's done in the same year.
That counts.
Let's try that. That's the one we're going for this year.
That's the main goal.
And been on the Coffee Club podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, in that. Yeah. Do you guys have any coffee sponsors? Because I'm a big coffee guy. Like I do the Breville barista like every morning.
We got the same machine as you.
Yeah.
So
we were selling beans very early on in the Coffee Club podcast.
We're working
days.
out the business side of stuff. We don't. I think in the near future we'll get some. So whenever we can, we'll send you some stuff.
Okay, good.
We get
We'll
good
hook you
quality
up.
stuff.
You guys need to get it like a machine sponsor like
That's our goal.
La Mazorco, right? Or
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
I know Australia had like 3 of those at the Olympics. I was like, I
we
was
jealous?
The
trying
Americans
to
were
wake
so
up
jealous.
early and
Sneak
like,
in.
Yeah, we were
Hey,
very
g'day,
lucky
mate.
at the Olympics.
You should have came because I was I remember my two teammates with the USA team were walking past, and I'm sitting in the lawn chair with my coffee because they get special cups as well.
Yeah, I'm like,
They were not happy about it.
No, dude, that was a big
And they were
no-no was
sick.
to give Team USA.
They were very
stuff.
adamant
That
about
was
don't give
that was
anyone
for
coffee.
Australia.
That's our Australian
Like
thing.
we worked hard to get these coffee machines here. You did not give it to the enemies.
We'll send this episode.
maybe too hard
to
on
them.
coffee, not hard enough on the track.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
I actually agree with that one.
Come on. But yeah, we'll hook you up. once
We'll
we get
hook you
the
up, we'll hook you up
merch.
now. You're part of Coffee Club TC, so
Yeah, by the way, just so you know, like anyone who comes on the podcast for the rest of their lives, they're like racing for Coffee Club Track Club.
Okay,
So
fair. So on the
You
scoreboard
currently
now,
have-
it's Nike / CCTC.
and
Pretty much.
you also have our 110 hurdles record.
Okay,
So
good.
Congratulations.
that
Yeah,
kind of
for
just
now.
Well, as
moves
soon as he
over.
races, we can't
Yeah.
we
Oh,
can't
yeah, not yet.
backtrack.
No,
Yeah,
not
true.
yet.
No, no, okay,
It's got to be
alright.
it's got to be present from.
Yeah.
Hopefully, our
Fair.
first world record.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll take it. But is there anything else that you want to say before we wrap up here, Devin?
That's a good question. I didn't come prepared with any questions, but I do always like to ask this question because I post this a lot on my social media. Is like the hardest workout I do every year is always like 6x150 or like 3x300. What's the hardest workouts you guys have done? Like the go-to for me is 150 because I always throw up. I think it's like a nervous system thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just further enough and fast enough to where you're like going full speed, but just enough rest to where you feel good to do the next one, and then by like 4 or 5 you're like shaking a little bit.
Yeah. I have one, but
What's your one?
I ran. This was before Oslo, or Diamond League. I ran a 12 by 400, and I averaged 57 low, with a minute recovery at altitude.
Oh, that minute hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were at altitude. So in Boulder, Colorado, we're at 1,600 meters,
5,000 feet.
5,000 feet. So yeah, 60-second recovery, 12 by 400, 57 low average.
So
and then
400s
after
on the minute, in a minute, or
that, in under
less
a
than
minute. Yeah, and I that was when I ran 347 in Oslo. So,
Yeah, so
that workout kind of showed me like
you fit.
I can
You're ready to
run a fast time. So that was probably I remember after that workout I was in a lot of shock, a lot of shake, and
Yeah.
I'm a middle distance runner. I'm not a sprinter, so it was pretty crazy.
Do you have one, George? Because mine are kind of cop outs. Anytime we do, like if you do we did a time trial before the Olympics, and I know that if I'm, because often in training we're not really going like all out. We're almost never going all out.
It's like
But-
80%.
But if you
It's
do
at
a
max.
harder, longer rep, so we did a 3K time trial at the altitude, and I've also done like a mile at altitude, and you know you're going to throw up after that.
Mhm.
Like not many workouts for us, we actually would ever throw up. But if you're going that long or that hard at altitude, you know you're going to throw up. So those are the ones that I get a little
nervous about. You don't
nervous
eat
about.
breakfast. Before,
Yeah, I don't like throwing
Yeah.
up, man.
My coach got me this year with one of those. Like I thought it was a normal day, and then he get to the track. He's like, all right, well we got 300, 200, 8 minutes, and like I want you to come through like the first one 34 seconds, and then the
Jeez.
second one like 34.5, and then I want you to run a 200 in like 21.5. I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
like who pissed you off today? Like,
What are you
like
doing
and I
this to
hadn't
me?
and I hadn't run that far this season or even last season. So like it's been probably over a year since I did a workout like that. I was just like,
Yeah, just jumping right.
and then
in
I
the
did
deep
it with the
end.
college kids who are in really good shape right now. Like, so I don't want to get beat by college kids.
Yeah, you gotta
Like, so I got, I was like, I was running faster than 34, and then I was like, the first one he was like 33, and I was like, oh no.
And you gotta go even quicker.
And then like
next time.
six minutes in, I was still laying down. He was like, you got 2 minutes, and I'm like, I can't walk, and he's like, too bad.
Yeah, luckily we don't have many workouts like that.
Yeah, I think for me it's probably the longer reps. When we do like a mile 12, 8-4 times 2 cut down, the second set gets pretty hard.
Very
And
tough.
we're running like
If we
close to
do-
5K race pace.
Yeah,
But
400. Like at some point anyone can run 400s. Well, that's what it feels like. It's
We
just
did a
get
lot,
through
of,
one
lot
lap.
of time on our legs. Like I think that's the one thing. Like the time on our legs, it accumulates, and then like you'll get to back home and you barely be able to walk. Whereas like I think with a lot of the sprint stuff, like you're on the track just like laying there.
Yeah, well,
Whereas
that's
for
the
us,
thing.
it's a bit of a prolonged effect where we get back home and we realize like, wow, I can't get up.
Well,
Like
yeah, if you do the 12
by
400s,
400 at 51.
you just spend like
57.
24 minutes at like a heart rate above
Yeah,
150.
yeah.
That's
It's
like
not.
a-
It's not. Yeah,
That's like a
it's-
shock to your body's like, oh, I think
Yeah.
I might be dying here.
Yeah.
yeah, and the big thing with the workouts that these two boys described, especially if you're doing them with the whole squad, like when everyone knows that it's a big workout and you have a big group of people and you go out hard on the first one, you can only go faster.
Yeah.
Like you can't slow
a
down from
precedent.
that point. So
You can't run the second set.
Yeah,
slower
you
than
have
the
to
And
first
go
set.
you always have a guy in your group that like, is
Feeling
the
good.
great pace setter.
Yeah.
Like coach says, 55-second force. He's 55 on the dot.
Yeah.
And there's always got a guy that's like
You don't know what's gonna happen.
goes around him and starts to hit him, and then they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then they're like 53, and then 58, and then like trying to hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bunch of
we
characters
know
that are
exactly who those
training.
people are.
Yeah, we do. But I think that's it from us. I just want to say once again, thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, we did not think that you would say
Respond
yes.
to our message.
So we're so appreciative, and this was so much fun to do. Thank you very much for you guys for coming out and
Thank you
listening. I hope you
guys.
guys got something out of it, and everyone for listening at home as well when this goes up. But yeah, Devon, best of luck with your race this weekend, and then the rest of the track season, and then getting ready for football. Everything, man. We were already rooting for you like real hard, and now next level, man.
Yeah, I gotta come with something cool for celebrations now that I'm doing both.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell
I
yeah.
gotta be real creative because
You
You
got to
use
bring
the
it.
hurdle celebration when you score a touchdown, and then like a football celebration.
Yeah, that's a
When
good
it's
idea.
track race.
That's genius right there. I think on that note, we'll wrap it up. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week.